In this era where every second counts, platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels are more than just entertainment. They're the new medium of storytelling. Today, the way we engage with stories is changing fast. We're increasingly leaning towards entertainment that's quick to digest and easy to enjoy. We also often find ourselves drawn to TV shows for their fast-paced and direct storytelling.
Tell me you look at me nice like you look at him.
They pack the punch of a full story into much less time, delivering those story highs efficiently. But sometimes, even a 1 hour or a 20-minute episode feels too lengthy for our quick-paced lives. Platforms like Netflix have tapped into this shift. Anthologies like Love, Death, and Robots are perfect examples. Each episode delivers a compelling and complete tale, often in less than 15 minutes. These episodes prove that you don't need a feature-length film to explore rich themes and stories. So today, cinema grapples with its role in our digitally transformed era. We're more likely to watch a quick trailer and then dive into the endless scroll of social media. Modern platforms offer various audiovisual storytelling formats, usually designed for passive consumption. But is there room for depth in these brief Instagram and TikTok reels? So, how do we find depth in this new media? Before we dive into that, let's take a step back and look at the early days of film. In film's early days, a galloping horse or a train's arrival was enough to captivate audiences. These weren't just clips or short films, they were full-on stories, each a window to a new world. Consider the masterpieces of silent film. Some are mere minutes long, yet they're not short films. They are films. The feature film length, about 2 hours, it's what we usually consider films, is a convention that was inherited from the early silent films because of commercial considerations. It came from the world of theater. Plus, this length worked perfectly for cinemas to show the film multiple times a day, which was key for the business needs. In the 1930s, the average shot length in films was 12 seconds, a style shaped partly by the influence of stage plays, where many early filmmakers honed their craft, but it has now decreased to just 2.5 seconds. Since the 80s, influenced by music videos, movie editing became faster, adapting to the modern world's quicker pace. In comedy also, the expected frequency of laughs per minute has noticeably changed. We're in an era where long build-ups don't fit our fast-paced lives and short attention spans. However, this quicker pace challenges filmmakers to preserve narrative depth and complexity in brief moments. In today's video, we'll delve into the length and pace of visual storytelling and explore how the depth of traditional cinema can potentially find a new life within the fast-paced, dynamic world of Instagram and TikTok Reels in today's era of social media storytelling.
Here we go, yo! Here we go, yo! So what's the scenario?
With shorter average shot lengths, modern films convey urgency and momentum, essential in action genres. Take Hot Fuzz, a film that stands as a testament to Edgar Wright's mastery of pacing. With its brisk 1.7-second ASL, it showcases how editing can serve as an active narrative voice. Wright's editing style is akin to a drummer setting the tempo of each scene.
Excuse me.
Let's look at this scene from Baby Driver. As Baby moves through the streets, each step, each turn, and every seemingly mundane detail of the city falls into rhythm with the pulsating beat of the soundtrack. This harmonious blend of sight and sound draws inspiration from the opening scene of Rouben Mamoulian's Love Me Tonight. Mamoulian, an innovative Armenian-American director, transforms everyday sounds into a musical piece, demonstrating an early understanding of the powerful relationship between a film's visual narrative and its audio elements, creating a dance between the elements.
When it's about cinematic is when the dance between the elements are greater than the sum of the elements. you know? And that is what is amazing. That is what I consider cinematic.
Let's slow it down. Let's slow it way down.
Yes, let's slow down for a moment and discuss a different, slower filmmaking approach. Transcendental style, as defined by Paul Schrader. You see, most films chase us, demanding our attention with relentless energy. Transcendental style films, however, do the opposite. The key here is the strategic use of time and stillness. It's a method that shifts the viewer from a passive spectator to an active participant in the narrative. How? By leaning away from the viewer and inviting them to lean in. These films retreat, creating a space filled with time and what one might call boredom. But this isn't mere boredom, it's strategic boredom. It's about holding on shots for an uncomfortably long time, resisting the urge to cut. It's a style that emphasizes feeling over action, reflection over reaction. The camera lingers until the motion ceases and dead time takes the stage. It's cinema challenging itself and its viewers, asking not just to watch, but to engage. This strategic boredom is where the viewer's mind is awakened and set in motion. Eventually, you're doing something really rare. You're activating the viewer. And once a viewer starts to move on his own, it becomes a really powerful experience.
When you use boredom as an aesthetic device, when is it effective and when is it simply boredom? If you consistently withhold, and now the viewer is leaning toward you. Now you have to, I think, in a certain moment, free them. You know, do something unexpected.
Hey, one time this guy asked me out on a date and he said, "Why don't I come to your area?" Which is usually either a kind gesture or intentions to hook up, but it wasn't too long until he said, "Why don't you cook for us?" I immediately got...
In today's world, the way we enjoy stories has changed a lot because of social media. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are where a lot of us go now for fun, to learn things, and to feel connection and comfort. You might watch a 2-hour movie for a story, or you can just swipe through Instagram or TikTok and get little bits of stories in just a few seconds. But it's usually not as deep or as involving as watching a movie. It's passive consumption.
It takes time to get to know each other, but the ones you see in the first week, hard pass.
On social media, you'll see all kinds of short videos. They're like tiny stories. Take this Instagram cooking video, for example. In just 1 minute, you get all the 3 E's of social media: entertaining, emotional, and educational. These are essential qualities of the content for doing well on social platforms. This video provides it all at the same time: a recipe, an entertaining story, and even a little inspiration. Sure, we're not limited to short-form content. Our media diet has expanded to include hours-long podcasts, a new genre of camping videos on YouTube, long ASMR cooking videos. These formats have their place, but let's be clear, this is passive consumption. It's content absorbed in the background while we're doing other things, not demanding our full attention or engagement. Obviously, social media hasn't taken over from movies or books, but it's added a new way to tell stories. But how can we achieve a different kind of depth here? Consider the scene where a character walks behind a wall. disappearing from our view. The screen shows only the empty room, yet we hear the sounds from beyond the wall. It's a technique where the unseen carries as much weight as the visible. This approach turns less into more.
А тут что? Да.
The camera lingers and the unseen events unfold off-screen.
А что после школы делали?
The audience is drawn into a creative process akin to reading a novel. This minimalist approach is about suggestion rather than explicit depiction. It is not about the absence of content, but about the presence of space for interpretation. It invites us to read between the lines. Take Robert Bresson's A Man Escaped, where he strips down cinema to its bare essentials, using voiceover as a poetic element and balancing show with tell.
De plus, j'étais obligé à chaque instant de passer sous la porte un brin de paille de riz arraché au balai de ma cellule.
This minimalist approach is a journey that transcends the visual and narrative boundaries of film. It turns 2D image into 3D by creating a dialogue between the screen and the viewer. But this profound technique of less is more is not just confined to traditional cinema. It can be beautifully adapted to short-form storytelling, bringing depth and meaning to short reels, even with their time limits.
You have seen, and there are expressions of amazing films and masterpieces that have been done without sound, without music, without color, without actors, even without stories. But there are not one single masterpiece that has been done without images.
At its core, cinema is about the flow of images in time. It's this flow that creates narratives, builds tension, and evokes emotions. This is the final scene of Park Chan-wook's Joint Security Area. Here, a single photograph encapsulates the entire film's essence. This single, powerful image in the final scene embodies the entire narrative of the film. It captures a fleeting moment of unity amidst the deep-rooted political tension of the Korean demilitarized zone. It's a poignant commentary on the tragedy of division, all within one frozen yet deeply expressive frame. In essence, the ultimate form of transcendental visual storytelling might just be a single image.
And soon afterwards, Paris was blown up.
La Jetée takes this concept to an extreme, crafting its entire narrative through still images coupled with minimal narration.
Above ground in Paris, as in most of the world, everything was rotten with radioactivity.
This approach to storytelling goes beyond the conventional show-don't-tell principle. Even though La Jetée utilizes a voiceover, the film's power is rooted in its visual storytelling. It's a dance between showing and telling, where the visuals lead and the words follow, creating a harmony that invites the viewer into a deeply personal and interpretive experience. This film challenges what we think movies should be like.
It works because it's so technically brilliant. I mean, it works on a musical level. It's like we're listening to music in that one. It's the images are coming up, and the editing is the most extraordinary editing I've ever seen, because it's a rhythm he's setting up, and the narrator's voice. You're dealing with poetry at this point.
As we invest ourselves in the story, these static frames begin to take on a life of their own in our minds. It's a remarkable cinematic illusion where, through our engagement and imagination, these frozen moments start to move, to breathe. Directors like Ozu and Parajanov have also mastered the art of telling stories with minimal elements, often using a single frame to convey deep emotional complexity. Their work challenges the viewer to engage, to interpret, and to feel, much like a powerful photograph. In the fast-paced world of TikTok and Instagram Reels, there's a chance to embrace minimalism from traditional cinema. It's not just about keeping it simple, it's about the art of hinting at more, giving the viewer 2 + 2 instead of 4. They become active in the storytelling, piecing together what's not shown. While these reels can't fully delve into the slow burn depth of transcendental style due to time constraints, they can still capture its essence by leaving space for the audience's interpretation. This way, even brief clips can activate the viewer and leave a lasting impact. In this way, short reels can transcend their limitations, becoming more than just snippets of entertainment. They become brief windows into stories that engage, provoke thought, and stir emotions. I think this is a pivotal moment in filmmaking, a collective inhale before the exhale of a new era of films. This upcoming era, which I believe will be the true metamodern era of cinema, combining traditional storytelling with digital platforms to create impactful mini-art films. It promises to integrate AI, creativity, artistic expression, and independent spirit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1...
This isn't about replacing traditional cinema. It's about offering new avenues to engage an audience that hungers for new ways of telling genuine stories. As cinema evolves, there's an undeniable sense of loss for the deep, contemplative quality of traditional film. Sure, art house movies and those gems celebrated at film festivals still capture this essence, but they're becoming rare treasures that only a few people really appreciate. Some people might think this change means we're running out of new stories and just telling the same old ones again. However, I believe that the core human experiences and emotions in our stories are timeless. It's the ways we express and share them are constantly evolving. From the early days of film to the bite-sized narratives of today, we see the shift. Once cinema was all about grand epics and immersive experiences that could span hours, but now we're circling back to where we started, the charm of the short, impactful story. But no matter how stories evolve, their main goal stays the same, to make us feel connected, to bring out emotions, and to show what it's like to be human. This is true whether a story takes 2 hours to tell in a film or just 2 minutes in a short clip.
L'amour qui fait tomber les cheveux, l'amour qui nous bande les yeux, l'amour vendu au plus.
At the heart of my channel Lo-Fi Cinema lies this very mission, exploring how low-fidelity cinema can still possess a profound depth, all while embracing the art of minimalism. And now, let's get into the 4th episode of Silent Room.
It's our first weekend in the new place, and we're desperate to find a solution for the relentless moans that seem to haunt us from just outside our walls. After hours of hanging egg cartons for soundproofing, we stood back, admiring our work and praying for a peaceful night. Yeah, no gold stars for us, Over dinner, Julia dropped another bombshell as if we needed more drama. At the NGO, she was offered a job teaching programming to kids in a village. It's a big deal for her, a chance to change lives, she says. But it meant 3 months apart. I tried to convince her not to go, but it's like talking to a brick wall. Make sure to smash that subscribe button for our channel. And don't forget to tap the bell icon too so you won't miss any of our updates. Thank you.